Hi, I'm Jamil Thabani. I'm a real estate agent with eXp Realty, and today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you are actually running 3 businesses in your real estate practice. This is something that people don't normally think through as a realtor, as a real estate agent, but stay on this conversation because it's going to open your eyes up to what you're actually doing and how you're going to actually be able to take these 3 businesses, support one another, and really create a real estate business for yourself that works for you the way you want it to be, as well as work within the life that you want to have. Let's get started. All right, so I told you we're running 3 businesses, and I'm going to break down each of these businesses for you at a sufficient level for you to understand, but probably more to start having a conversation over to really understand how you've set your business up knowingly or unknowingly within these 3 streams, because this is really what it is. You're running 3 businesses within your real estate practice, knowingly or unknowingly. And we have to look at where your zone of genius is, like where are you absolutely great at, okay? And then make sure that we make that where you can turn it into the most amount of income that you can generate for yourself. Now, I want to let you know this kind of personal philosophy that I have of mine. If you end up being the person that's servicing every single one of your clients, more than likely you're going to be the single point of failure in your business. And the second thing that's going to happen is that you're going to probably become an employee of your business. Okay, now I know that might be either a bold statement or one that is starting to get you to think a little bit more about it, but let's really look at how a real estate business is set up, okay? There's 3 core pieces to it. The first piece is all about taking prospective people who want to buy and sell, almost like any warm body, because really anyone that you talk to is like, yeah, I want to buy a house, but not everyone has the capability, right? But the fact that they have declared that as an interest of theirs, they've become a prospect, okay? Now you got to filter through those prospects and turn them into warm leads. Now my definition of a warm lead is anybody that's looking to buy or sell in the next 30 to 60 days. Okay, now everybody has their own definition. Some people say, oh, a lead to me is someone who wants to buy this year, okay, or sell this year, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, someone's gonna say a lead to me is only someone who's willing to buy in the next 7 to 10 days. Well, I personally think that's great that that's how they've set their business up. I don't typically have people who just come to me and say, hey, you know what, I wanna buy something this week. It's happened, but those are a little bit more rare. Usually what happens is I'm going through a nurture in my first business, which I'm gonna describe here, to get them to be in a position where, you know what, yeah, if something good pops up today, they'll buy it, but you know what, it's probably gonna be something in the next 30 to 60 days. So business number 1 is really being in a position of taking those prospects, anybody that's a warm body, someone, oh, I wanna buy a house, I have that aspiration, or they own a home, okay, I wanna move at some point in time, they have that aspiration as well, through to a system where yes, 30 to 60 days, they're ready to transact, okay? That's business 1. You're getting prospects to warm leads. Business number 2 is where you're taking those warm leads and bringing them in and you're servicing them, okay? You're servicing them as either a buyer or a seller. Now, here is where we have to find some efficiency, okay? We need to be in a position where we can get them from A to Z as quickly and as efficiently as possible, without limiting, of course, the service that we're providing, the value that we're giving, okay? But what we do is we have to be in a position where we have systems in place, a buyer system, a seller system, okay? Now you might actually have something in place. You may not know that you have it, and it needs to be documented, because at the end of the day, the one thing a lot of realtors tell me is that they cannot allow someone else to service their clients. Their clients only want to work with them. They only want to work with them. Well, here's the thing. They want to work with you because they like you, they trust you, and they believe you can help get the job done. And now in this phase of your business, you have to be in a position to basically align yourself with a potential buyer's agent or listing agent and say, hey, I've trained them, I've helped them, they are following the exact system that's in place, and I'll be here to support. But that might be a future or aspirational goal for a lot of us. Okay, when I first started off in this business, I couldn't even fathom thinking about having a buyer's agent or a listings agent to support me in my business. But what we do in this part of our business to be efficient and effective is to have those systems in place. All right, so what are you doing to help educate your buyers, allow them to absorb the information that they're going to need to know, and help them across the finish line from getting pre-approved for a mortgage, then showing them the homes, and then putting the offer in and doing the inspections and due diligence, then getting them across the finish line. Okay, there's systems and there's a process in place for that. You've probably got that, and if you don't, leverage it from somebody. But the idea is that you've got something that allows you to be efficient and effective. Once you're done servicing them in this part of the business, the next part and the third business that you're running is a nurture business. It's not that far different from prospects to lead in that first business. What it is, these are past clients. These are people you've helped. And at the end of the day, you want to provide them with after service, right? Like after sales service support. And it's not like you're gonna go and tune up their furnace for them, but when they need somebody to help them with that, obviously they're gonna come to you and you're gonna have tradespeople, right? But there's other things that you're gonna provide them, like market updates, or here's what you need to do now that winter's coming, or here's spring cleanup activities, or whatever it is, or things that you need to do. Like one thing that I do in my business is I've got a home maintenance program that I put people on, and it's just a way for me to basically work the third business, which is nurturing my past clients. And what comes from that are generally two things. One are referrals. Hey, my cousin or my coworker or this person is looking to buy or sell their home. Okay, and then you can add people into your first business from there, or you're bringing them back into part one of your business, which is you're taking them from prospects to leads. Because if you're staying in touch with your clients and right, what their aspirations and their goals and their desires are, eventually they're going to tell you that we want to move again, or we want to buy an investment property, or whatever it is, and then you can just get them through to becoming a warm lead. Okay, so those are the three businesses that you're running. But let's take this to the next level, because I kind of touched on it a little bit. I talked about systems and processes, and we'll even talk about tools and ways for you to stay engaged with your clients or prospective clients. So in each of your businesses, you need to be able to be in a position to what I call fly in, check in, support, step back, allow them to do what they need to do, fly back in. It's almost like being a parent. Okay, now you can be a helicopter parent and hover over everything that your kids do. Nothing wrong with that if that's the parenting style that you have. But if that's the style you have with your clients, you can only service so many clients at a time. All right. And so if you're experiencing that roller coaster in your business, it's probably because you're spending a little bit too much time hand holding your clients and not doing one thing, which is part of my love language in business. And that's called, it starts with the letter L, called leverage. And leveraging the systems, the tools, the people around you to be able to be more efficient and effective. Okay. And I'll share a little bit more about that in another video one day. But when you're looking at the three businesses, you really need to see how you've set each one up and what you can do to be efficient with your time, be effective, so that way you're able to support. Because at the end of the day, you see, I'll give you an example here. This is what I say to a lot of individuals when I go on listing appointments. I say to them, look, I got this 21-point maximum exposure marketing plan. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I just don't throw it on the MLS. But, at the end of the day, what my goal is to get people through the door, okay? Because you see, it's all about numbers. We know it, okay? It's all about numbers. The more people that come through the door, the higher the likelihood someone's going to like it. And when they like it, they're going to put an offer on it. So what you need to do is increase the number of people that come through. My average is 1 out of 8 showings is usually going to lead to an offer. Okay, sometimes first person comes in, offer right away. That brings the average down. Sometimes we got 14 showings and that brings the average up, but at the end of the day, 8 showings usually leads to an offer. And that's the same thing here, is that in order to get people through business 1 to business 2 to business 3, you need to work your numbers. And that means you need to have more meaningful real estate conversations in the first part of your business. That's where meaningful real estate conversations will lead to buyer appointments, showing homes, listing appointments, and ultimately negotiating contracts. So you see, if you increase those conversations on this side, you can start bringing in more people into the second part of your business. Of course, that's where you're servicing buyers and sellers. Now, we know not every buyer will buy, and we know that not every seller will sell, right? So we have to be in a situation where those systems are in place to help service them and support them, where you fly in, do the touch point, step back. And when you step back, you're not just sitting there twiddling your thumbs like this. You're going back to step number 1 in this business to have more meaningful conversations. You're building up the pipeline there so you can bring more people here, build up this pipeline, and then eventually a certain number will transact and come into this side of your business. So you see how your real estate business is actually 3 separate businesses. Now, I hope what I've shared with you here has been of value in that you've been able to pull something back, maybe reimagined how you've been running your business or how you could be running your business. And if you found value in this, please make sure you hit the like button, and also make sure you subscribe to this channel, because guess what? I'm going to be pushing out even more content. Now, if you need to reach out to me, if you have any questions on any of this or anything that I'm doing, please give me a call or send me a text, 403-630-7294. I am delighted every time I get a phone call. It excites me, it invigorates me. So I'm looking forward to you reaching out. We'll chat soon.